candidate come up here and tell you all about himself and what his platform is, and I'm just so pleased that we're able today to come here and support a true gentleman, a very great candidate of the Republican Party, and the next state representative of the 1st Barnstable District. Tim?
Those of you that have seen me speak before understand why I'm putting the microphone away.
He doesn't need it.
I have a projecting voice that comes from being 11 feet tall that allows me to speak without a microphone. And also, when you put a microphone in my hands, I freeze up. I feel from years of teaching at the State Police Academy, 2 decades of teaching up at the State Police Academy, I feel a lot more comfortable just walking around and talking to people than I do standing behind a podium or with a microphone in my hand. Everybody has their own way. This works for me, so I hope that... Is there anybody here that cannot hear me? How about that? Okay. The other thing I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and be brief. I don't want to carry on too long. We've all been to these events, and there have been people that go on and on and on, and I'm not that guy. I'm not the priest that has the 45-minute sermon. I don't know what to say other than thank you very much for the kind introduction, Peter. You're exceedingly kind. I want to say thank you very much to the good people, my friends here from the Brewster and the Harwich RTCs that put this together. And thank you to our hosts here who have just once again opened up their beautiful business for, in this case, they've opened up their business to support my campaign. And I can't tell you how much that means. There are just a couple of things that I want to talk about. As I've told people in many of my speeches, I never prepare any remarks. I just get in my head a couple ideas that I want to talk about, and then I just go with it. I think it's more, I think you'll find it, I find it more effective, and I think also I speak from the heart when I do that. I don't want you to think that I'm standing up here reading prepared remarks that some speechwriter wrote for me. What I'm about to say comes right from my heart. And Peter, it's kind of funny that you were referencing some of these some of these acts, like the Trust Act and an act relative to safe driving. I had come out with a position piece on that I posted on the internet and that I posted on my Facebook page. That was maybe about 3 weeks ago. One of the things that that you brought up that was when you were talking about the Second Amendment. There was a law that was in effect when I first got involved in law enforcement in the 1980s, and it was called the Bartley-Fox Gun Law. Bartley-Fox gun law, what that did was that at the time there was a one-year minimum mandatory sentence for anybody that was possessing a firearm illegally. If you didn't have an FID, if you did not have a pistol permit, then what would happen, and you're in possession of a firearm, you would go to jail for 1 year. It does not matter if you have never been arrested before. It was a 1-year minimum mandatory, and it worked. Danny, you remember Bartley-Fox? My good friend Dan Gallivan here is a retired Worcester police officer, and he would have, being in Worcester, you would have remembered arresting people in violation of that statute. I was working at a county jail, and I was interacting with inmates on a regular basis, and I remember talking to some of these inmates, drug dealers. I mean, high-level drug dealers, low-level drug dealers, street thugs. And the one thing that they all had in common was that they would commit their crimes, but they would make damn sure that they were not in possession of a firearm, because they knew that there was no plea bargaining, anything like that.